everybody. I just wanted to see if I could walk you through the making of the commercial. As you can see here, we're at the airport early in the morning and everybody's wanting to look at the kitties, and I walked around most of the time with the kittens held up around my shoulders so people can see them, but it was interesting. It was early. Plane was going to leave late, so we're kind of sitting around. Not very many people here, but we're getting ready to get on the plane here before too long. And we stop over in Las Vegas, and you can tell by the machines there where we are. We weren't in Vegas very long. Then we took off and we headed towards Los Angeles. Every time we got on the plane, it was a show time going down the middle of the aisles with the cats, but it was kind of fun. We got to Las Vegas, and or not Las Vegas, but we got to Hollywood and made our way to the hotel room. And this is Gloria and Shane Winship. They are the trainers. And this was the first introduction that they had to the kittens.
So cute.
Is that
You're just so cute.
Is that Miss Triss, the one that's
This is
supposed to be a
Ben.
little?
Yeah, that's Ben there.
Ben needs to
Bitty
be.
boy.
Ben needs to be the sit-stay one. Good job.
When you consider that this is the first meeting of the kittens and these trainers, these kittens are pretty well socialized.
There you go. Good job, Ben. Good job. Good job.
Pushed it.
Feather. I think feather probably. Okay, back to mine.
Wow, that was a good
Try
little
just a
nap.
feather. Try just a feather.
These sessions, which lasted about 45 minutes, and then a couple hours rest in between, occurred on Sunday and Monday. And by this process, we learned how to make the guys push the box. I wasn't able to video the actual part of them pushing the box here because I was actually pulling the box. We didn't have a string, but this is how we got the method that you'll see, or that you do see in the commercial. They love to play with the kittens, and so I just let them play with them. They get right down on the floor and play around with them. I mean, they really love these guys, and I think the cats responded to that too. You can see here that Holly is actually up on that box pushing it. Well, it's time to shoot the commercial, and this is $1 million house that they rented for $10,000 for that day. And you can see all the equipment. I mean, it's lined up and down the streets. It has its own police force. They were very protective of that place. This is the food. They have the best food on the planet in these things, and that's one of the directors with the trainers, and these are the Scotties executives. You can't see it, but they've got a TV. This is where they watched what was going on inside of the house. This is the room for the kittens. There's a sign up there that nobody can come into the kitten room. And these are just some of the photos that I was able to take. Notice the two stand-ins they have because they're getting ready to shoot the part of the commercial where Holly pushes the Kleenex box up to Grandma and Grandpa. So they're about to have a meeting to get all that done. Here they're actually shooting the Grandma and Grandpa part. You can see the stand-ins are sitting there because they never did the kittens and the live actors at the same time. That's a couple of shots that I was able to get off the monitors around. Most of the time I was too busy to try to get more shots because I always had to be there with the kittens. This begins the kitchen sequence, and they're trying to get the kittens to high-five her, which they did eventually. It took about 30 minutes, but it all worked out. When you see that in the commercial, it's not done by anything. The kittens actually did that. This is the second day of shooting, and we're at still shots. You can see the photographer down there, and the kittens cooperated greatly. Those are the stand-ins that they used when they were setting up the shots. And the kittens sat there like that. It was kind of amazing. They're actually, one of them standing on a box right there, just can't see it. This is Gloria and Shane, and the producer and the director. And this is kind of after it's over with, the Scotties commercial people, the executives finally get to touch the cats. They wouldn't let anybody touch them except Shane and Gloria. It's over and we're on the way home. I have to tell you that during the still shots, it got to be actually kind of funny, but they would ask me if the cats would just sit there, and we'd set them up there, and I swear they sat there for like 10 minutes. And then they asked if you could put one of them on the box, would they stay there? And they stayed there an additional 10 or 15 minutes. And I think the kitties were just amazed because there's like 40 or 50 people out there that they're looking at. And I told them if they wanted to see the kit's face all the time, they're going to have to be very quiet. So the director at one point says, listen, you guys have to be very quiet. And I'll know who wasn't, because the cats are going to look right at you. It was a great experience, and I think it turned out terrific.